here. So we'll have a seat on the mat. Elevate your hips.
Get a pillow.
As a reminder, I don't put you on mute.
What?
So we can check in with one another, but if you have something real crazy going on, recognize you're not on mute. I like to use a blanket. If you have a pillow, that's nice. We always start with our legs crossed because it allows you to find alignment from the back of your neck all the way down to your tailbone. So think of that. Allow yourself to sit back a little bit. Those points of pressure that you're sitting on, call those your sitting bones. Take your shoulders, notice if you're hunched forward, and see if you can draw your shoulders gently down your back. Let your eyes be closed this time. Give yourself this gift of just being in touch with your body. As Nicole was saying, for many of us, we spend a lot of energy taking care of things and others and things that others want and need. But this body, this is your vehicle to take you through this life. Ultimately, your responsibility. Allow your collarbones to be wide, your chin level. Start to look for your breath. Eyes are closed. Deep inhale through the nose. Nice slow exhale out your nose. Listen for the sound of your exhale. And find that sound as you breathe in and breathe out by relaxing your jaw. Resting your tongue lightly on the roof of your mouth. Like you were going to say ah, but you kept your mouth closed. Breathing in and out through the nose. If that seems awkward and you're not quite making sense of that, just be in the space. Appreciate that this is a practice. Not a skill, not a start and a finish, just a practice. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. We'll find a few breaths with my count. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Pause here at the top of the breath. Maybe you rest your hand on your belly button. Exhale through your nose. Each time slowing down. Deep breath in. If you feel like you've already gotten all the air there is, just keep sipping in that air and ride at the top of that breath and then control the exhale as you ride down. It feels very much like a going up and down or like the tide going in and back. Ready? Inhale. Finding your center, exhale. Last one, slow it down. Inhale. Let this exhale be a shedding of everything that's weighing you down right now. Exhale. Take a deep breath in, a deep breath out. Drop your chin towards your chest, bring your hands together at heart center. Rest your fingertips together. And I invite you to begin practice today by thinking about something that you have in a bountiful amount. What do you have plenty of? Not paper towels, okay? Not toilet paper. Like, what do you have plenty of that's something intangible?
No one was not. No one was not. No one was not.
So bring your mind to that thing that you have. Sometimes it may be something you acknowledge, may not, but do you have plenty of love? Do you have plenty of people who need you? Do you have plenty of purpose? Do you have plenty of joy? Do you have plenty of a certain gift, like an ability or a connection or generosity? Just choose one thing. Good. Open your eyes, reach your arms up towards the ceiling, interlace your fingers, press your palms up towards the ceiling. See if you can lift through your rib cage, but keep your sitting bones down. Release your hands. Drop your right hand to the mat. Bend your right elbow. Hug your right elbow in close to your body and reach long through your left arm. Dropping your shoulder down towards the mat on the right. If this becomes too much for you with your knees crossed, then just loosen that up. Maybe take one leg out. Make this more about the side bend. Inhale, reach up. Already we're connecting breath with movement. So listen, exhale and plant your left hand down. Hug your left elbow into your side. Bend your left elbow. Keep your right hip on the ground as you lean long with your right hand. This purpose right now is connecting with this feeling in your body, being fully centered, having your breath. I can tell you that that connection, that purpose is much more than what many other people have because you are intentional about it. Bring your hands back to heart center. Take a deep breath in, deep breath out, and then come off of your blanket or your cushion. Set that to the side. We're going to start with a couple hip openers. You guys really like that. Knees out, about hip width distance apart. Find yourself on your hands and knees, couple cat-cows, just to warm up your spine, warm up your lower back. So dropping your belly, pushing your tailbone up, lifting your gaze, lift your chin. As you inhale, use your exhale as a way to move. Exhale, round. Sigh the air out and then stay there, pushing the mat away, all 10 fingers on the mat. Strong shoulders pressing straight through your elbows. 2 more times. Keep the elbows pretty straight as you drop your belly, drop your chest, scoop your tailbone up, lift your chin. Exhale, round. Breathe in a way that's a little bit loud and vigorous and exaggerated. Last one. Inhale. Cow pose. Lift your chin, drop your chest and your belly. Exhale, round. Pull your chin towards your chest, arch your back. Breathe here. Good. Come to a neutral spine. Step your right foot to your right hand. Breathe here. All right. Start to scoot your left knee back. We're not warm yet, so don't go too far. Just so that the knee gets behind the hips. This is your setup for a very gentle lizard. Right away, if you feel like the floor is too far away, grab your pillow or your blanket, put it underneath your hands. All right, we're gonna stay here for 5 breaths. So let's get the physical posture first. I have a stack of my right knee over right ankle, all 5 toes of the right foot on the floor facing straight ahead. My arms are supported right now. If this is okay with you, you could go further and bend your elbows, dropping your forearms to the floor. Maybe not. Maybe you need to elevate the floor to you, putting something underneath your hands. Like, yeah, if you can see, I have a folded up towel or blanket here to elevate. The back knee is behind me and I'm in this deep lunge. All right, I know that you guys have already been here for a moment. Close your eyes. A couple more breaths. So remember our order of operations when you're here on your mat. Find your physical posture. Set your gaze. Settle into that familiar breath. So where are you looking? Can you soften your gaze? Relax your jaw. Let gravity do some of the work here, dropping your left thigh down. All right, back out slowly. Start to straighten your right leg. Tiptoe your fingers back. Lift your right toes to the sky. Keep your right heel on the ground. Again, we're not warm, so gentle. Just sometimes when you're tight, it really is a way to get very connected to the parts of you that need to be loosened up because you feel it. If this is too much with your legs straight, just soften a little bit and think of leaning your chest forward. You'll feel that activate still through the back of your leg. If not, you can pull your hips back. Breathe here. All right, put your right foot on the floor. We're going to take ourselves over to pigeon. Walk your right foot over. Drop your right knee to your right wrist. If you are already struggling right here, pull that right toe in a little tighter so that the right toe comes in more towards your left thigh. Everybody okay?
It's gonna help me get over
Sounds
this.
like a circus. Okay. Okay, so let me tell you where we are again. If you're already going to pigeon and you feel okay here, you're going to come on down, relax.
Oh.
All right. Otherwise,
Oh.
for those of you that are nowhere near relaxed, let's back up. Remember your other option. If this is like, what kind of crazy is this? Get on your back. Cross your right ankle over your left thigh. Lift your left leg.
I think that's
This
worse.
is where you start.
It's in front of.
It's like you're at the eye doctor. Choice A, choice B. They're both bad, huh?
Oh, good Lord, yes.
All right, you're on your, so this for some of you though is going to be more attainable, right? So if you're in full pigeon, you're laying forward. Otherwise, you could be on your back. And if it's too much to lift your left leg, just cross your right ankle over your left thigh and you can push that leg away. Sometimes the more active you are, the tighter you get also. So this is like a good counter stretch to that. We all have different degrees of natural flexibility. All right, wherever you are, whatever your pigeon looks like, find a place of stillness. Drop in here for a moment. Remember, part of our learning happens when we're a little bit uncomfortable. Breathing here. All right, let's come out. If you're on your back, uncross.
Yeah, come on.
And then gently roll over to your side, push yourself up. If you were in pigeon with your right foot forward. Chris, did you do something crazy yesterday? You're crazy tight, huh?
Oh, just normal me.
Just normal. All right. So if you were in pigeon here with your right knee bent, pull yourself out of that. Take yourself back to your hands and knees, to your tabletop. Let's all reset in a child's pose. Take your toes to touch. Drop your hips back. Relax your arms. Relax your head. As a reminder, if it's too far to get your head to the mat, then put something underneath your forehead, maybe underneath your elbows. Find a little support here. Let this be soft. Breathe here. Hear your breath. Inhale. Exhale. Come back up to center. Hands and knees. Let's do the left side.
Oh, good Lord.
Set yourself up. Be as successful as you can. Recognize each side's different. Couple movements, cat cows here. When you're ready, stay strong through your right arm. Step your left foot to your left hand. For some of you, just this is already going to fire up the tension in the hip flexor on the left leg. So go ahead and find some way to bring the floor to you. Support your hands. If you're able, start to scoot your right toes back. Scoot that knee back. If this puts a lot of pressure on your right knee, couple things. Put more pressure into your left foot so you're not just dumping weight into the back leg, but also this would be a fine opportunity for you to cushion that right knee if you have something handy. All right, we're setting ourselves up for lizard here. All 5 toes pressing on the left foot into the floor. Left knee stacked.
This was pigeon.
Not pigeon yet, lizard. 2 favorites, both
Yeah.
animals. Wait till you see crow. Huh? All right, left knee right over left ankle. See if you can find some stillness and rest here for a minute. Breathe. So when we say rest, even though you're in this place where you are uncomfortable, this is where that magic happens because you are learning to soften in the face of being a little bit uncomfortable, a little bit stressed. Rather than just becoming tighter and getting totally wound up. That's what we do when we get a little bit stressed, right? Here we're learning to manage that. You're retraining your the neurons, you're retraining your parasympathetic nervous system of how you respond to stress. But that's enough. All right, lift your chest. Come out of here. Gently, gently, move slowly. Drop your hips back. Straighten out your left leg a little bit or a lot. Never hyperextending that knee. So if you've got a lot of flexibility naturally in your joints, then just err on the side of keeping a little bend. And you could drop your chest towards your thigh. If your hands don't easily reach the floor, you could anchor on your front knee. You could find things to help you elevate. So you could always bunch up your pillow or your blanket, find a place to bring the floor to you. That's what your accessories or props are for. All right, y'all. If you did pigeon on your back on the right leg, you're probably gonna want to do pigeon on your back this way. So you can go ahead and move your way to laying on your back. If you wanna try pigeon here, both hands are forward. Start working your left foot across to your right wrist. Drop your left knee to your left hand. So there's a tendency to want to drop over the left hip onto the floor, and then you have like this dumping of weight into the left side of your body. You want space with the left hip high. All right, that's going to create more of this stretch through the back of the leg and the hip. You may stay here with your hands up, or you may bring your support here. Support your forearms. Settle down. Find the pose. Find the gaze, even if your eyes are closed. Find your breath. Breathe here. Good. If you're on your back, you may be lifting your right leg or pulling your right thigh gently towards your chest with your left foot crossed over your right thigh. If you're here in pigeon with your chest down, start to work yourself up. Swing that foot back. Good work, guys. Reset in the child's pose. Bring your toes together. Drop your hips back. Move in a way that's intentional and slow. So one thing that happens as you start to become more familiar with the yoga poses is you might skip over the moving slow part and just get to the getting there part. The juiciness is in the getting there also. So take your time. When else do you get to take your time? When else do you get to really stop and feel what it's like on the way? Close your eyes in your child's pose. I asked you to think about what you have plenty of, what you have that's bountiful, because I was thinking a lot today about a scarcity mindset. If you haven't heard of a scarcity mindset, it's this feeling that there will never be enough. Never enough money, never enough food, never enough time, never enough something. And it can be quite pervasive into our mindset. Bring yourself back up, hands and knees. Tuck your toes, meet me in downward facing dog. Remember, both hands are straight, about shoulder width apart. And I'm going to talk for a second here in down dog while you bend your knees gently and shake your head side to side. If this is too hard on your wrists, remember, you could elevate your wrists a little bit by taking this blanket, keeping your fingers on the floor, just taking some of the weight out of your hands, or just spend some time on your hands and knees, circle out your wrists, and then come back to your down dog, knowing that every little bit you spend here is strengthening your shoulders, arms, and those ligaments and tendons. Take a deep breath in here in your down dog. Soften your knees, let your chest relax toward your thighs. Find your breath. Settle here. Look forward. Gently take steps toward your hands. And take a big forward fold. Bend your knees, let your head hang. Find something to anchor with your hands. So maybe you grab your hands in a clasp in front of you, reaching towards the floor. Maybe you reach for opposite elbow. Maybe you anchor on the backs of your thighs. Maybe you wrap your arms around the backs of your legs and help you assist your forward fold. The reason I was thinking about a scarcity mindset is because, when I'm fighting for something, I'm advocating for my daughter, Ava, for her to get the support that she needs. I fall into this pattern of thinking there's not enough, and it takes you into this cycle of wondering if there will be enough of everything in the future. And for a lot of us, that's a very legitimate fear. Slowly release your hands, roll all the way up. The scarcity mindset, inhale, reach all the way up. Exhale, bring your hands to heart center, stand well. The scarcity mindset is a mindset that's driven by fear. And we have the choice to operate on that mindset of abundance, to recognize where we do have enough and to build off of that, to believe that we will have enough, to be patient with the process. A mindset of abundance. Pull your pelvis under, pull your belly button in, shrug your shoulders up towards your ears and down towards your back. Keep your hands at heart center, breathe. Good, take a deep breath in, release your hands, reach up. Grab your right wrist with your left fingers and lean over to the right. Inhale, come back to center. Lift with both hands and switch your grip. Grab your left wrist with your right hand. Lean to the left. Good. Breathe in, reach up and back. Just back to the point that you can without falling backwards, pressing your hip bones forward. If this is too much on your neck, you could support your neck here with your elbows out wide. Gently looking up, pressing the hip bones forward, opening through the collarbones. Breathe. Exhale, come back to center. Slowly let yourself waterfall forward. Breathe out. Good. Inhale, find a flat back, straighten your legs, bring your hands to the front of your shins. This is like your setup when you know that you're about to get down on the mat. It allows you to find that alignment and drive so that we're not all soft, and then we're ready. Crown of the head pointing forward. Find the floor, step back, meet me in your high plank. As a reminder, your arms are stacked, so shoulder, elbow, wrist, all 10 fingers pressing into the mat. I think about you guys, and I think about the first time that you did a high plank, and a lot of you were really struggling. You hadn't done a plank in a while. Your shoulders really were screaming at you right away. I'm so proud of you for your consistency and showing up. Engage those thighs, lift your knees, belly tight, good work. Breathe in, listen, exhale, push yourself back, downward facing dog. Good. Breathe in and breathe out. From your hands and knees or from your down dog, we're going to meet with our right foot forward. Stay on your left toes. Sweep up. We all meet here in high lunge. If you're unsteady here in your high lunge, that's okay. Take your right foot a little bit more to the right and shorten up this stance. You don't have to be stretched 8 feet across your mat. Stay here in this high lunge. Breathe. Good. Grab your right wrist with your left hand. Lean to the right. Challenging your balance here, asking for stability and strength through those lower legs.
Looking for a crash.
Come back up.
Look at the screen.
Through center. If this is too much, you could take your hands to heart center and just shift your gaze. Take your right hand, reach for your left wrist, reach a little bit to the left. Feel the sticky parts opening. Come back up to center. Open up to your warrior two. Drop your back foot. Find your warrior two here. So my right knee is bent, left leg straight, left foot parallel to the back edge of the mat, right toes pointing straight forward towards the right front of the mat. If this starts hurting your knee, back off on the bend on the front leg. Breathe here. Set your gaze. Good. We're going to stay here for 5 breaths. So this is your chance to really fire up. Try this. Try turning your palms up, putting yourself in a little bit more of an energetic posture. Hold this here. Breathe. 1, 2, 3. Squeeze your glutes. Tuck your pelvis under. 4, 5. Straighten your right leg as you bring both hands up above your head. Reach here and then go back to your warrior two. Hold for 3 breaths. 1, 2. You're breathing. I'm counting. 3. Good. Straighten your leg. Bring your hands up. Good. Step back into that warrior two, just bending the front knee. Check in that your knee isn't caving in towards the big toe. We want that leg open towards the pinky side. Ready? 3 more times. We'll straighten and reach. Exhale, lower and open to warrior two. Find your flow. Straighten, reach up. Exhale, open. The breath is important here. Try to find it. Inhale, reach. Exhale, open. Inhale, reach. This time stay here. Turn your toes, so now both toes face towards the long edge of your mat. And then use a flat back, lead with your chest, fold forward. Let it all go here, breathe. Find your breath, remember, find your gaze, soften, breathe in, breathe out. All right, use your core, roll all the way back up. Toe heel your feet together. I'm gonna face you. If you're facing away from your computer and you wanna turn so you're facing me, that's fine. Before we do the other side, find yourself standing. Stand on your right leg, lift your left knee up. All right, here's the balance I promised.
Gee, thanks.
All 5 toes spreading out on the mat. Now let's do a little check-in. How are you guys doing?
Mumbling all over the place.
Okay. All right, you're standing up. That's progress for some of us, right? All right, if you're good here, then you're gonna go further. If you're not good here and you're like all over the place, you have your chair or something that you can hang on to for some support, or you do this yourself. Make yourself a little kickstand. Drop the toe, lift, hold. When you can't anymore, drop the toe, lift, hold. When you're not used to standing on one leg, you really have to work on the strength in the ankles and the stability in the big muscles in the glute of that standing leg. So that's your focus, belly in and stability in the glute and the big muscles of that leg. Create that little kickstand. If you're moving on and you want more, take your hands up. See if you can extend your leg out. Like that's like difference between the starting line and the finish line right there. So maybe you're somewhere in between, that's okay. Wherever we are, drop your shoulders. Try, breathe. Good, step that foot down, let it go. Take a big forward fold. Good work, guys. Breathe, rise all the way back up. Make your way back to the top of your mat. Take a big breath in, reach up. Exhale, take your hands through heart center. Practicing for abundance, take your forward fold. Inhale, draw the crown of your head up, flat back. Exhale, soften your knees, make your way back to your high plank. Where are your feet? So feet are about hip width distance apart. If you need to drop your knees behind you so that you're still creating strength through this whole trunk, including the back and your shoulders. If you're in high plank, stay strong, stay steady, and start breathing now. All right, this is our chance. Again, we're reprogramming our response to difficulties. When you have clarity, when things are messy, it serves you well. Breathe in. Stay with me. We're going to travel on the exhale. Belly in tight. Inhale. Push through your hands. Take your tailbone up and back. Downward facing dog. Sigh it out. Good. I heard that exhale. Very good. Breathe in. Breathe out. Most of you are going to want to shorten up that dog a little bit. So walk your toes in just a little bit. Keep your elbows straight, but soften your knees. Let your chest rest towards your thighs. Open through your back. Everything else that you have to deal with is still going to be there. Allow yourself this time right here. This is your space. Breathe in. Breathe out. All right, from hands and knees, and then just getting the left foot forward, or from your down dog, we're going to meet with left foot forward, right knee lifted on the toes of the right foot in your lunge. If you have a tendency to get dizzy when we go up and down, a couple things. One, be really well hydrated. You're working harder than you might realize. Two, move more slowly. I'm going to wait for you right here. So if you need to move a little bit more slowly, that's you knowing your body. Move a little bit more slowly. Bend your left knee, but you should still be able to see your toes on the left foot. Belly in, I'm stacked, shoulders right over hips. Breathe here. Reach your arms up if that's okay with you. Grab your left wrist with your right fingers. Lean towards the left. Feel this activation all through the hip, the right side body. Good, come back up to standing. My legs haven't changed. I'm working, using that stability. Grab your right wrist with your left fingers, lean towards the right. You know, something you guys have taught me is that sometimes finding your joy is in sharing your gifts with others. Release your hands. You're here. Breathe. We're going to travel on the exhale. Open to your warrior two. So I might make that look like it's just one simple move. I know when you're just getting started, it's more like clump, 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 and there you are. That's okay. Eventually, we all land generally in the same place. Warrior two, left knee bent. I can still see my toes, knee stacked right over ankle. Arms are out wide and strong. Reach through your middle fingers, and that activates your triceps. So my arms aren't dead and hanging here. I'm really reaching, shoulders down and back, belly in. Find your lunge, set your gaze. Good work. Turn your palms up. Find a powerful breath. Hold your gaze steady. There are things that you already have, that you have enough of, and to this point so far, you have always had enough. It is likely that you will continue to have enough, and I invite you to believe that with all your heart. Stop having this scarcity mindset. If that's a path that you go down, embrace abundance. Straighten your left leg, reach your arms up, look up, and then exhale, palms stay up, lunge back into your warrior two. Stay here 3 breaths. 1. If your arms are getting tired, that's because you're working them. You can take a little break here and then come back. Last breath, straighten the leg, reach up. So intentional with every movement. Exhale, open, warrior two. Immediately find that gaze. Stay here. We'll flow 3 times. Here we go. Reach up. Exhale, open. Listen to the breath cue. Try to connect. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, bend your knee, open your arms. Good. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, reach up. Stay here. Turn your toes. Fold forward. If your hands reach the floor, find grounding there. If you hyperextend your knees, soften those knees, bend them just a little bit. If your hands don't reach the floor, find some anchor for your hands. Backs of the thighs, backs of the calves, ankles. If your hands do reach the floor, you may want to try taking your peace fingers, reaching for your big toes. And then you have a little anchor here. You can pull and fold. Breathe in. Elbows out. Breathe out. I know that you're the kind of person that even if you're afraid, you have a lot of courage because you show up for this class. You show up to let other people see you. You show up as you are. You show up to do your best. So already that is abundance. Start believing that you will always have enough. You'll have more than enough. Believe that everything that you do is going to lead to something greater if you just stick with it. Release your hands, straighten your legs, toe heel your feet together, maybe bend your knees and use your thighs as a support so that you can pull yourself all the way back up. Again, move slow if you have a tendency to get dizzy. We're all going to meet standing. Find your breath. Stand well on your left leg. Standing well means I'm taking shoulder, hip, ankle, trying to really make that a straight line. Ground down through your left foot. Lift your right knee. So here's where you get a little clue into the two sides of your body. Probably one side is dominant, so it's a little bit more stable. You may do this kickstand, hold, touch. You may hold on to something for a little extra balance, but try not to white knuckle it, right? Just use it as like a touch point. Or if you're steady here with your right knee up, let's go a little further, arms up. It's always okay to just try. Take your right knee, extend. Extend your right foot out. Shoulders down away from your ears, belly in, all fired up, really working here. Breathe. You got this. Stay with me. Lift those toes. Good. Everybody set that foot down. Take it down. Forward fold. Sigh it out. Good. Breathe in and breathe out. Take your feet so they're about shoulder distance, hip distance apart. Soften your knees. Walk your hands over to the right. If your fingers are on the floor, you can anchor there on the floor. If your fingers don't reach the floor, this is a great place for you to kind of hang on to the back of your right leg and just pull down here. Find a stretch here with soft knees. You'll feel this a lot through the back of your legs. Come back to center. Walk over to the left. If your fingers reach the floor, walk them a little bit behind you. Keep both feet even on the floor. Remember we talked about equanimity, that balance of all parts. Twisting towards the left. Good. Come back to center. And then make your way down to your hands and knees. Cross your ankles. Put your feet out in front of you. Roll all the way back and take your legs up towards the ceiling. Take a moment here, relax your shoulders. All right, we're on the downhill, but we're going to do a little bit of core here. Okay. All right. Toes are pointed up. Breathe here. Lift your chest. Hang on to the edge of your mat. All right. For some of you, this may be enough, and you just work on staying here. Steady. Breathe. If you're okay here, let's take the right heel down, pointing the toe, and lift. Left heel down, pointing the toe, and lift. Ready? Right, left. You must breathe. Right, left. If your neck hurts, you can support it or lay down. Stay with me. Stay in this journey of growing where it's a little bit harder than what you want. If this is not hard, you pick up your pace or you point with straighter legs. Keep going. We've got 5. 4, strengthening your legs, your hip flexors, your abs, and your back. 3, you're breathing. Believe in this. 2, believe in yourself, believe in the process. Last one. You did great. Good work. Bend your knees, relax. Take the soles of your feet together. Drop your knees open. Rest a hand on your heart and a hand on your belly. You did a great job today. You're doing a great job. Leading and loving for others. Know that you are not alone. I'm proud of you. If there are things that are weighing you down, let this moment that you've had for yourself give you perspective and the energy that you need. And if you've been meandering and you haven't really had a purpose, let this time of showing up on your mat be not only restorative, but also give you the spark to give you your mojo. We're in Supta Baddha Konasana, soles of the feet together, knees out wide, hand on your heart, hand on your belly. Dropping the small of your back to the floor as much as you can, chin straight up. Letting go of some of the struggle here, breathe. Good, bring your knees back up to center. We'll reset with a bridge pose. Put your feet flat on the floor, knees bent up towards the ceiling. Press your palms flat and gently lift your hips. Pressing through your heels, taking your hips up off the mat. You have 3 glute muscles, medius, minimus, and maximus. Bridge pose fires up all of them, as well as the tops of your legs, which is your quads, backs of your legs, which is the hamstring, and the supportive muscles in your lower back. So embrace this, lift as much as you can, breathe, control it, lower slowly all the way down. Little windshield wiper of your knees side to side. All right, we're going to take banana on each side before we wrap up. So this is basically making yourself like the shape of a banana. It really is called banana. Move your body over to the whole right side of your mat. So you're aligning your right hip with the right edge of your mat. Take your arms up above your head and grab your elbows. Bring your feet together. Start by making yourself a banana with the top half of your body. So keep the hips glued to the mat. Just lift your shoulders and your arms over to the left edge. So I've created an arc towards the left side of my mat, keeping my hips glued on the right edge of the mat. Now I got to make the banana shape on the bottom. So now move your feet over towards the left edge of your mat. You'll notice it gets hard to move your right leg that way. That's where the tightness happens. If you can cross your right ankle on top of your left, but we want to keep our energy drawing the right hip down towards the mat. You're making yourself like a banana shape with the curve going towards the left. Like a long C shape, keeping both shoulders down, trying to draw especially the right hip open and down. So I'm not rolled over on my side, but I've got both shoulder blades pressed down into the mat. Close your eyes, breathe here. What do you have that you're afraid that you will not have enough of? And can you let go of that and start to live with a mindset of abundance? A mindset that is confident that you will have enough. That everything that you do will lead to more and greatness. Come back up to center. Unwind. We're going to work our way over to the other side. So scoot yourself all the way over to the left edge of your mat. Plant your whole body so you're in line with that whole left side of your mat. Reach your arms up above your head. Move your body over to the right edge of your mat, keeping your left hip down, keeping both hips planted. And then when you're ready, other side, take your Left foot towards the right edge of your mat, followed by your the right foot to the right edge of your mat. Maybe you cross your left ankle on top of your right ankle. Try to keep your left hip energetically drawing towards the floor. You're lengthening and strengthening in your practice today. Knowing that you have to show up with both flexibility as well as strength to be your best you. One more breath here. Gently come out of this. Release your elbows, uncross your ankles, or bring your knees back to center. Bring yourself back to the center of your mat. Maybe it's nice to just take a hug here of knees to chest. Anything else that feels like you need to do that now. If you have a wall nearby or your sofa, it's nice to take your legs and support them. So bring your legs straight up and then let the backs of your legs or your feet rest on the wall. Or maybe if you just have like a sofa, you could just rest your legs there, just getting your legs up above your heart for a little while. If you don't have that, no problem. You could take your final rest as we usually do on your back. You did great today. Enjoy this moment for yourself. Letting your energy reorganize in a way that makes you happy and fulfilled and peaceful. Hear your breath. Leave something behind here today that is no longer serving you so that you can make room for something better, something new. When you're ready, reach your arms up to the sky. Maybe circle out your wrists. Take a big stretch. Reach fingers to toes. And then taking your time, roll all the way over onto your side. Gently come up to the top of your mat, bringing your hands together at heart center. Close your eyes. Most humans are never fully present in the now because unconsciously they believe the next moment must be more important than this one. But then you miss your whole life, which is never not now. And that's a revelation for some of us to realize that your whole life is only ever now. Friends, the light in me honors the light in each of you. Namaste.
Let's see.
Stay.